Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of Strat Watch. So here we go again, we're going to bring you more stratospheric data. We're going to see what's currently happening with temperatures at 10 HPA over the Arctic and North Pole. We're going to have a look at a lot of forecast data, and we will be looking at another historic winter as well, this time looking at 1951, 1952. And there's a good reason for that, but I'll explain when we get there to the end of the video. So please like, share, subscribe on all of today's videos and content. Thanks so much everyone for doing that. Eyes are quite a bit better today. Still not 100%, but they probably never will be, to be honest. But no, they're all right. They're not too bad. No, I think it'll be okay to go live at 6 p.m. We 10 to 14 day this evening. So please like, share, subscribe on all of today's videos and content. Thanks so much everyone for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Right, let's start off with the temperature at 10 HPA over the North Pole in the stratosphere. So this is coming from the JMA. The black line shows how temperatures have been performing at 10 HPA and where we currently are in the stratosphere at 10 HPA over the North Pole at the moment versus average, which is the grey line. So we did see a little bit of a warming earlier on in February. Our first sort of minor, very modest warming occurred earlier in the month when we went up to around Sorry, when we went up to around minus 40, we very quickly dropped backwards though from there, and we're cold on average now, as we have been throughout most of the winter, except for that little warming episode. So we're currently sitting around minus 73, something like that, at this point in the year, at the end of February. We should probably be around minus 55, minus 54, somewhere around that area. So we are significantly colder than average again at 10 HPA versus our long-term average. If we go a bit low down to 30 HPA, there we remain significantly colder than average as well. So at one point, back around start of February, we went close to minus 90 at 30 HPA. We're now around minus 80, so we have come up a bit from that, but we should be somewhere around here, which is minus 65, minus 64. So again, we are significantly cold on average, very cold actually, very much colder than average at 30 HPA in the stratosphere. So let's have a look at some forecast data. The blue colours show where the polar vortex, stratospheric polar vortex currently is over the Arctic and the North Pole at 10 HPA. With some warming occurring across southern Europe, beginning to push up in towards Russia at the moment, but otherwise those blue colours well and truly entrenched. That course is the stratospheric polar vortex. Now, over the next few days, we're going to find a displacement of the stratospheric polar vortex taking place with the deepest of the blue colours into the North Atlantic and Northern Europe, warming around the edges through Russia, and see how that warming as we get into the first week of March starts to intensify. So by the 6th of March, we've got a really big warming of the stratosphere going on, if the forecast is correct, over Russia and Siberia, and starting to push towards the pole as well. This is going to be an SSW. Well, we're certainly reaching the kind of temperature level that I look for an SSW, and those very warm temperatures are pushing into the North Pole as well, with both red and orange colours. So I would think that would be enough to reverse the zone of wind at 10 HPA there. Again, displacement event of stratospheric polar vortex into Canada and also into North America and northern parts of Europe as well. That warming sitting over the top of the pole there does look quite dramatic, doesn't it, by the time we get through to the 10th of March. And then another warming beginning to appear around the North Atlantic into Greenland, and that actually splits the vortex. We split the stratospheric polar vortex on this GFS run, with one lobe of blue heading off in towards Canada and North America, and another lobe of blue sinking down in towards Europe as well. So that looks like it's doing everything to me, I have to say. It looks like we're reaching the required temperature to say that we're having an SSW there And not only that, we are also displacing Stratospheric Polar Vortex. So I reckon that would be like a reversal of solar wind to 10 HPA 60 degrees north, which is a technical SSW. Remember, cherry on the cake is that we also split the vortex as well. So everything that you want an SSW to do, to me, it looks like that is doing it. So quite an interesting GFS run, and all starting now over Russia anyway. Within the next week or so, certainly within the next 10 days. So getting a little bit closer to the more semi-reliable time frame with the start of this. Anyway, obviously the split side of it is very extended and unreliable. But like the start of this warming anyway over Russia is now within like a week away, really. So if we come here, the intensification starts there around the 4th to the 5th of March. That's like less than a week away. So it does look as though some sort of warming is going to take place over Russia and Siberia, dramatic warming, and moving toward the North Pole. The question is whether it will be enough to reverse the solar wind to be a technical SSW event. Blimey. This from University of Berlin. I haven't shown these charts so far through this season. Oh, Strat Watch, I don't think I have. Maybe I did it once, but haven't seen these very often this season. This is showing the temperature at 10 HPA at 192 hours. Helpfully, the North Pole is included there. But the main thing I want you to focus on is this number down here, 33.4 ms at 60 degrees north. Now, if we go through to the 216 hour chart, you see how that's come down to 25.0, and then at the 204 hours, which unfortunately is as far as we can get to, that's the 7th of March, we've come down further to 18.8. Still a pretty strong stratospheric polar vortex, to be honest, but definitely weakening quite significantly there. And you'll notice that the core of the warmth is still a little way from the pole. So if we go another 24 hours, it'll be interesting to see how much further that number will weaken, but definitely indications there from University of Berlin and ECMWF that we might be in for quite a significant deceleration of solar winds, even if we don't manage to reverse them. But I think we could reverse them. We'll have to wait and see. This is how the weekly anomaly is looking from the ECMWF. So this is week 1 next week, the 3rd through to the 10th of March at 10 HPA. There's that warming coming out of Russia and starting to move towards the pole there in the stratosphere, and then go over to week 2, and that is actually moving into the North Pole itself. Looks quite dramatic. We can't quite say that's a technical SSW because on the temperature scale there is another shading that we could go up to, and that will be this yellow shading just here. So the model is forecasting temperature anomalies of about 50 degrees above average, and SSW probably is a little bit above 50 degrees above average. So we're very close to the temperature reaching the required, temperature for an SSW. We're probably going to go up a little bit more. That's week 3. It's the 17th, 24th March. Be warming is right over the pole then, starting to ease downwards. Of course, then that's week 4, and that is week 5. One thing that's causing a little bit of uncertainty about this is the extended range forecast for solar winds from the ECMWF. So, of course, we're starting off with a very, very, very strong solar wind at the moment, and we are going to see over the next week quite a significant weakening, and then further weakening to come. However, you'll notice, oops, my line's gone wonky, you'll notice that the blue line here, which is the ensemble mean, it is going under the red line. We haven't seen that very often this season, so that is the long-term average. So we are going to see solar winds weaker than average by the look of it by the 2nd week of March. But this 0 line is all important. That if we go under that, they're having a reversal of solar winds. That's a technical SSW. You'll notice this big blue line does stop quite a way short of the zero line there. So the ensemble mean is stopping short of a reversal of the zonal winds. A few days ago, that's getting very close to a reversal of zonal winds. We do eventually get a reversal. You'll notice the blue line again going under that zero line, but it happens towards the latter part of March, so that will probably follow yet another SSW event there. Or it might be like the cyclical warming, final warming of the stratosphere that happens, due to climatology of the northern hemisphere warming up. But I think that would be a bit early for that. I think that happened more towards mid to late April generally. So that's the one thing that's causing a little bit of uncertainty about whether this is going to get the job done, and whether this will be a technical SSW event or not. We should wait and see, and we should keep monitoring, but all looking quite interesting. Of course, we're going to be beyond winter with all of this going on. If we do get a certain stratospheric warming event and we get a tropospheric response around 2 to 3 weeks later, then that will impact sort of late March and into April, unfortunately, and that might be via northern blocking and colder conditions into end of March and early April, but we don't always get a tropospheric response to an SSW event. However, if we get a split of the stratospheric polar vortex, then that would tend to increase the chance of a tropospheric response. So the displacement type events are the ones that don't always respond in the troposphere. Usually when we have a split type event, such as the GFS is going for there, then we will tend to get a tropospheric response. So it all remains to be seen. We shall keep you updated. We shall keep you posted. We would normally stop doing Strat Watch this week, but I think we'll carry them on for another week or two. What do you think, everyone? Let me know in the comments if you want Strat Watch to continue into March. Obviously, I'll have to remove the tagline, will we get a sudden stratospheric warming for winter 24-25, but maybe I'll change it to will we get a sudden stratospheric warming for spring 2024-2025. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you want Strat Watch to continue, and episode 14 next week. Right, let's just have a look at a historic winter before we go from a Strat perspective. This is 1951, 1952. The reason I've chosen this, it's not a particularly cold winter actually, but the reason I've chosen it is that it does include the first observed sudden stratospheric warming event, I believe. Now let's have a look at that. We start in December 1951, these blue colours up cold temperature 10 HPA over the Arctic and over the North Pole. That is how the 5th of December looks. So a bit of a warming happening over on the Pacific side of Siberia. Otherwise, those blue colours are well and truly entrenched. That is the 10th of no, hang on, that's the 10th, just there. That's the 10th of December, just there. That warming is intensifying a little bit over on the Pacific side, but this isn't the observed stratospheric warming from this season. That is the 15th of December, warming moving over more towards the Canadian side, perhaps, and we go to the 20th of December. Quite interesting profile. We've got warming here around the Canadian side of the Arctic, and also back into the pole itself, also affecting parts of Greenland. Meanwhile, displacement of stratospheric polar vortex into northern parts of Europe. Let's get through to Christmas Day of 1951. That warming is intensifying further, but this again is not the observed SSW. I don't think it is this season. However, that does look quite impactful, doesn't it, over Greenland and over the North Pole. And you'd expect there'd be quite a significant tropospheric response to that, but actually I don't think there was particularly. I don't think January 1952 was especially cold. So the 28th of February is looking, well, we split the polar vortex there. So let's go back to Christmas Day. And that's how we look there. So probably not, actually. No, I don't think we split the vortex. Just a continuation of that warming from Canada in towards Greenland. But I've got two loads of blue. One lot over towards the Pacific side and one lot down in towards the Atlantic. Right, let's get further on then to New Year. And then we see the stratospheric polar vortex begin to come back to a more familiar position over the North Pole. I don't think there was any particular tropospheric response, or certainly not for Northern Europe anyway. Might have been for North America, but I don't think for Northern Europe there was any particular tropospheric response to those developments in December of 1951. We're into January 1952 now, though that's New Year's Day. Let's go through to 10th of January 1952. Well, now we see a much more familiar pattern. The blue colours really started to get their act together. That's Stratospheric Polar Vortex getting its act together, reforming there over the North Pole and whatnot. Let's go for the 18th of January. Well, we're now seeing a very stretched and quite ragged looking stratospheric polar vortex there. And then that's the 24th of January 1952, and finally this is the 31st of January, when some sort of warming is happening over northern and western parts of Europe. Now, the interest is in February of 1952, I think. That's when we get our first ever observable sudden stratospheric warming event. So let's go through. This is the 1st of February. Some sort of warming is happening over northern parts of Europe. We go through to the 5th of February, and that warming is pushed off towards Siberia. So those blue colours, stratospheric polar vortex itself over the North Pole there. That is the 10th of February. Warming beginning to gather maybe towards Siberia, but looks quite insignificant, that, doesn't it? However, by the 12th of February, that warming is penetrating towards the North Pole. Displacement event of stratospheric polar vortex into the North Atlantic and western parts of Europe. This is the 13th of February. So, could be a reverse of solar wind at this point. Not sure if that's quite enough to have been able to do that, but certainly the polar vortex at its roots is looking quite battered. Been through quite a bit through this season, hasn't it? That's the 17th of February. Still, I don't think the observed warming. However, it is gathering pace here through western parts of Russia. And then the 20th of February looks like that. And now a significant one. I think this is it. This is the first ever observed sudden stratospheric warming event occurring from Europe up into Russia there, beginning on the 20th of February. 21st of February looks like that. This is how the 22nd of February looks. Again, see the one particularly focused on Europe and Western Russia, which is very unusual place for that to be, taking place, actually. And then we go through the 23rd of February, and look how the warming is intensifying over sort of Western Russia and also close to Scandinavia as well. I think at this point, although it's out of the Arctic, I think at this point the solar wind has actually gone into reverse, mainly because of all of the prior developments that have gone on. That's the 24th of February, with that warming again focused particularly on Scandinavia. That's the 25th of February. Further intensification of the warming of the stratosphere over Scandinavia and also into western parts of Europe as well. That's the 26th of February. One begins to ease down now, so the peak happened on the 25th of February there. And that's the 27th of February, 1952. And finally, the 28th of February, 1952 looks like that. So warming gradually easing out into the Atlantic. Very interesting and very, very unusual developments that we saw there. And it was about a month after that we apparently got a tropospheric response. So I can show you that. And the tropospheric response actually happened. Where are we going? Yeah, we're going just there. But tropospheric response actually happened with this area of high pressure here that developed around Scandinavia. That's the 28th of March. So go back to 25th of March. So at that point, so you've got cold air that's been pushed from the pole. There's been a blocking there over Svalbard, pushing the cold air down into western parts of Europe. And then we get this Scandinavian high feature, or blocking area of high pressure, building to the north and northwest of the UK line, starting to pull those northeast winds. They are very cold northeast winds into the western portion of Europe there. 27th of February. looks like that, bitterly cold, the blocking area, high pressure around Greenland, and again, opening those door to those very cold east to northeasterly winds. That's 27th. Let's go to 28th of March, and it looks like that. That's a classic chart, isn't it? That was a couple of months earlier. That would have been really bitterly cold, but it's late March. It was still bitterly cold, though. Actually, that was a very unusual blizzard focused on lowland southern England at the end of March 1952, courtesy of this blocking area of high pressure around Iceland and this low down to south, pulling in those easterly winds, bitterly cold easterly winds. So a little bit of a beast from the east, actually. Check that out. It's 29th of March. Get that block around Greenland, Iceland, low push down towards Biscay. In are coming those strong to gale force easterly winds. As I say, this produces a blizzard across lowland southern England as this low pressure comes northwards into that bitterly cold air. And snow really piling up, actually, at the end of March. It's a famous sort of late March blizzard that we have here a month after that sudden stratospheric warming event that was focused on Scandinavia. As I say, that sudden stratospheric warming event was the first observed SSW, I believe, from like the Met Office and the Pro Mets. So interesting. Hope you enjoyed that little review of 1951 and 1952. Right, okay, so I reckon we're going to do episode 14 of Strat Watch next week. As I said, we'd normally knock it on the head now that we've reached winter, but as we look so poised for a significant stratospheric warming to get going next week, I reckon we might carry this on another week or two. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, everyone. And if we do, of course, we'll do another historic winter review with that as well. Well, we're going to be back at 6 p.m. with your 10 to 14 days, so I should see you a little bit later on for that one. But for episode 13 of Strat Watch, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. See you a little bit later on, and bye for now.